Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, and today I'm here to talk about episode 5 of Paramount Plus and Showtime's Dexter Resurrection, entitled Murder Horny. And listen, right away, I hated that title. It set an expectation for an episode as corny as that title, but just as this show has done all season, it surprised me. Like, I actually ended up liking how the title was used, and this was yet another strong episode. Like, I had low expectations as soon as I saw the title, and I'm hesitant right now to accept that Dexter is good again. Like, as a TV show, like he's still a murderer, but he's a good guy. I wouldn't call him good, but as a TV show, I'm hesitant to accept that it's good again. But this episode impressed me, just like all the rest of them have. You know, the arc with Mia, not only it subverted my expectations, but it went somewhere far smarter than I thought it was going to go, and I really appreciated that. I had one minor issue, but I mean, yet again, another good episode of Dexter this week, so let's just stop talking about how good it was and talk about what happened. So we open with a much-needed conversation between Dexter and Harrison. Most of it's just rehashing what the audience already knows, but eventually it does get somewhere meaningful. Harrison admits that killing doesn't give him that release that it gives Dexter, and it makes him feel the weight of what he's done. He said he's been living in hell ever since he killed Ryan. Dexter, meanwhile, starts to wonder if maybe the two of them aren't as similar as he thought that they were, which, in my opinion, is an interesting direction to take their relationship, you know, given the circumstances. I like the line where he tells Dexter he just won't die like Michael Myers or Jason. He didn't even know Jason's name. He was like the guy with the hockey mask. Also in this sequence, Dexter mentions some early kills that he did, like back when he was in college to protect Deb. And there's like these like flashbacks on the screen. I'm assuming those are moments from Original Sin that actually happened on that show. I didn't see it. But if so, that's a nice little way to tie all of these shows together. Meanwhile, Prater keeps building his resume as the most suspiciously generous man alive. He talks with Leslie Stahl. Yes, the real Leslie Stahl, and says he paid off the mortgage of the family who adopted him, and he pays off the mortgages of any family who adopts kids from the foster home that he grew up in. And then when she asked to talk about it during this interview that he's about to do with her, he asked her to keep it off the record. It's a pretty impressive PR move, almost too perfect. Not even almost, just too perfect. For his generosity and like his kindness to land a little bit more, because I mean we all know that it's like a mask, like a veil, to cover up who he really is. But for that to land a little bit more, I need to see a darker side of him that he's hiding. Like right now, all he does is host these parties. Like yeah, he hosts parties for serial killers, but that's all he does is host the parties. Like people aren't killing others at the parties, like nothing's happening. They're just hanging out. And he doesn't kill anyone. So, I mean, he's not necessarily really a bad guy yet. He's just, as a matter of fact, he's just a great host. But his philanthropy will be, like, I think more impactful if we learn he's hiding some darker secrets than just being a fan of a weird thing to be a fan of. And I have a theory that I'm going to get into in a bit that has me thinking that we're probably about to see just how evil Prater is. But I'll get to that in a moment. So Harrison gets a call back from Claudette. Apparently he called her earlier in the morning and he left a message. Oh, I'm sorry, he didn't leave a message. And now he's trying to back out. like, oh, I didn't need anything. Like, okay, you can't call her and say, my bad, I don't need nothing anymore. And so because of that, she pressures him into meeting up in person. And when they do meet, he says he only wanted to apologize to Shauna. And that's the girl that he saved from being raped by Ryan. He wants to apologize because he felt like he didn't do enough. And Claudette shuts him down and is like, yo, not only did you not do enough, you still a suspect in Ryan's murder. And the tension in that storyline is building so fast. Like you could see like the weight of hearing that from Harrison. Like he thought he was in the clear and he found out he's still a suspect and it was like, oh my God. Hey everybody, I just want to take a small break from this review to talk about the various other ways you can engage with me on other platforms. If you're so inclined, and I understand why you wouldn't, I am an acquired taste, but you can join the Patreon where you can get extra content like retro reviews where I review old shows and movies to see if they still hold up today, Mike's Musings where I talk about shows I'm watching that I don't cover on the channel, or Mike's VOD where you can commission me to watch a show which I will then review on the channel. And if you want to engage with me and chat with me more directly, I also implore you to join the Discord and follow the Facebook page. I set up channels in the Discord for all of us to discuss the shows I'm reviewing on the channel, and I also drop new videos in there since it's the easiest platform for me to share to from my phone. The Facebook can be really fun because I sort of live comment on shows I'm watching, often while under the influence, I'm not going to lie. And I'll also share news there, both about television and film and about myself as well. So if you like my content, you want to be more engaged, you think I'm charming, or you simply want to show support, feel free to sign up for the Patreon or join the Discord or Facebook today. Links to all platforms are in every video description. Remember to share all my shit to your respective social media platforms. And now back to this review. But things are about to get better in that regard for Harrison anyway, if only briefly. So Dexter goes on a bowling date with Mia, and she's hitting all the right notes, like, and a little too right, to the point where I started to wonder if it was a setup. Like, I began to wonder if Mia and Prater already actually know who Dexter is, and all of this was like a thing to like get this really difficult catch, you know, to get the Bay Harbor Butcher. How difficult it would be to get this guy. And yeah, he already has Bay Harbor Butcher memorabilia, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't know that Dexter is him. So like, I thought like, man, maybe she's setting him up because she's too perfect. Like, maybe this is part of their plan to like really, you know, get him to let his guard down. But doesn't turn out that way. The only scene of this episode that I didn't like, it comes shortly thereafter when Dexter gets a random side quest to talk some sense into Blessing's mom, who seems to be battling cancer and refusing treatment. She tells Dexter she doesn't want to die, you know, hooked up to machines in a small room, and she wants to go out in her home surrounded by family. And it's a touching moment in theory, but I'm just curious whether or not this is going to matter. Like, it felt random and kind of out of place, but this show is doing such a good job of weaving these sorts of things into the main story that I expect it to tie in. I'm just not sure how at the moment. And it felt very out of place within this episode. It does need to matter, though, because like I said, that whole scene, if you're going to have a scene that feels out of place like that, next episode, I need to be looking back like, oh, that's why that was there. So Dexter buys a new set of slides, and he adds Lowell's blood to it, surprisingly storing them somewhere easy to find, the same place where Joy, who's Blessing's daughter, where she used to stash her weed when she lived there. That's a risky move for anyone trying to stay low key. Like sure, Dexter, there's no way anyone's ever gonna look there. But like Charlie found Red's trophies in the ceiling because she found the fucking indents in the carpet. You think no one's gonna find those slides there? But anyway, Dexter goes on another date with Mia, same day. The first date was the daytime one. This is a nighttime one. And he tells her that he's from Miami. They're out at a wine bar. But the big twist, Mia admits that she doesn't actually follow a code like Dexter assumed that she did. All that, I can't say assumed because she's been painted as the Lady Vengeance, but all that Lady Vengeance stuff, it was just media spin. She kills because she enjoys it, and she allows people to continue to think that she's doing some sort of righteous thing. She even says she's offended that a woman can't just be a killer. She got to have some trauma that she's strong enough to fight back against. But that revelation brings Dexter back to Earth from a very dangerous place in which he was contemplating telling Mia everything. Now, it swings all the way to the opposite side, like a pendulum. Like, now she's landed on Dexter's kill list. Problem is, he can't kill her. He's not already suspected, but he suspects that he will be a suspect in Lowell's murder, considering he's the new guy. He shows up, then Lowell's dead. He's already worried about having explained that one. He really doesn't want to have to explain two. But here's what I love, and this is why this new season of Dexter is working so well. Dexter is preparing his syringe to knock out Mia. And Harry's talking shit over his shoulder about how Mia was never the answer to his problems. It was always Harrison. And I loved that line because in that moment, there's this shot of Dexter holding Ryan's watch, which Harrison gave to him in the opening scene because the watch was having like this like telltale heart effect on Harrison. So Dexter offered to like carry his burden like he's Jesus or some shit. And in that moment, Harry's like, it was never Mia, it was always Harrison. And I, in that moment, connecting the watch to that, I was like, it's about to be Mia in order to help Harrison. And that's exactly what happens. All those pieces ended up fitting into place. Dexter still has Ryan's watch, so now he can frame Mia for Ryan's murder, which will kill two birds with one stone. It gets Mia off the streets without killing her, and it should get Claudette off Harrison's ass since Ryan's murder would now theoretically be solved. Mia already has a reputation for killing sexual predators like Ryan. Like, it will be a clean setup, and it's the perfect plan that will warrant no further digging by Claudette. Lady Vengeance killed the rapist, done and done. So Dexter executes the plan. He lets Mia do her thing. She goes out, she seduces a guy, brings him home. While she's out, Dexter plants the evidence, oxidized bleach under the sink, which we know and Claudette knows was used to clean the crime scene at the hotel, and Ryan's watch, along with her other trinkets in her apartment. He opens the blinds so he can watch from an adjacent rooftop, and he calls the cops right on time. The cops arrive just as this guy's about to get killed. They arrest Mia. They find all the evidence that they need. It's a classic Dexter trap, clean, precise, effective, and most importantly, a well-written and plausible course of action, which is all I ask for out of any show, especially one like Dexter, where you just by the nature of who he is, you're always kind of pushing that line of plausibility. So you need something like this here to keep the show grounded and to keep somebody like me who's so ready to call bullshit, keep somebody like me quiet. Prater, of course, he wants Mia found. He doesn't specifically say that he wants her released, just that he wants her found. Charlie eventually finds her and visits her and says that their mutual friend will make sure her time in jail is short and comfortable. But here's my theory. Prater didn't want to find Mia to help her, to make her visit short and comfortable, like that made it sound like she was going to get out. I think he wants to find her to potentially clean up a loose end that could lead back to him. Like the way Charlie looks at her in that scene, it felt like a death sentence. Like, I found you, but this is unfortunate because now you're not going to last much longer. I bet Prater wanted to find her so he could have her killed in jail. And that would be sufficient enough of a dark side, I think, to be a proper counterbalance to Prater's philanthropy. Meanwhile, Batista sees the news about Mia being arrested for Ryan's murder, and he knows something's off because he got a whole murder board on the wall where all the strings point to Dexter. But Harrison sees this news too, immediately suspects Dexter set Mia up, so he goes to visit Dexter, who finally opens up about his guilt over what happened with Rita in season 4. He tells Harrison he wants something better for him, that he doesn't want his son to be like him. It's the most human moment Dexter's probably had in a while, and it's how we end this week's episode. So episode 5 pushes the plot forward in some interesting ways. Mia's twist, I thought, worked really well. The setup was classic Dexter. It subverted my expectations of Mia's setting him up. That'd be a good twist. What they did was even better, and that's why they're writers and I'm not. They even made the corny title work. There was a moment where Mia proposed a tandem kill with Dexter, but when it was time to do it, Dexter got cold feet because she was behaving recklessly. And when she decides they're done for the night, she says that since he got her all murder horny, she was still going to go do her thing, which I thought was actually a pretty funny line. Not much to dislike this week, but the Blessings mom subplot still, like I said, it felt like just out of place. They need to tie that back in soon, which I suspect they will, probably in next week's episode. So that's all I got for episode 5. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Like, how did Dexter handle the Mia situation? Is Prater more evil than he seems? How long until Claudette figures out that Mia didn't kill Ryan? I would imagine next week she's probably going to start being suspicious. And if you're enjoying these breakdowns, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out all my other Dexter content on the channel. And until next week, peace.